But now, for what we're talking about, at least, and all that we've been teaching in this package and in this series, it's important to know that love and relation doesn't stand outside of itself. Many men and women fail in marriage and relationship because they are because they want to have marriage and relationship outside of itself. They want to have it in a bubble. They want to have it in a bubble. They want to. My fan. I'm trying to do the sound. This is my fan. Anyways, they want to have it in a bubble, and they want to have it independent of the bigger plan, which is God's purpose and God's kingdom. And that is why marriage is not an emergency, because if it's not something that is necessary, if it's not something that is mandatory for your plan, for God's plan and purpose for your life on earth, you don't have to get married. It's not an achievement for you if that's not part of God's plan for you. But what has happened is that because of the emotions involved with love and what people think love is, or the feelings, people are now wanting to get into it independent of the main purpose. And God has called teachers like us to bring you back to the reality of it. The reality is not a sad one, so don't think, oh, bringing you back to the reality of it means, oh my God, wow, it's so sad. But the reality is definitely not what they are showing you on TV, which is what is that is what is selling to a lot of people, and that is what people have as their idea of love and relationship, or emotions, marriage, whatever the case may be. That is not it. It's not boy meets girl, the book falls down, then you hold, and then you now start kissing and start having sex, and then you get tired. Of course you'll get tired. You did not come together for a primary purpose. You did not come together for the original plan of the Creator to expand the earth and the world. So you are going to get tired. You are going to get tired. In fact, check other things in your life. Because many times we just jump into, but check other things in your life. I'm talking about the Creator's plan now, please let me hold that thought. But check other things in your life. When you do something not because of a purpose, but because everybody's doing it. Say for instance now, waking up 5 o'clock. That is the whole curriculum. Don't worry. So we've got all year for all the teachings. That is the whole curriculum by the grace of God. That is a whole curriculum on the whole every 5 o'clock thing, waking up 5 o'clock. Okay, what of workers who work from 12 a.m. rather to 6 a.m.? How are they going to start their day? You didn't think that that those people too would need to start their own day. Now, I'm not saying this to debunk anything. I woke up early. As at today, I woke up quite early to get my day started. However, what I have come to realize is that we need to start talking more about people's personal operating system than just dishing out things that everybody must do. Because when you do that, that's why you have a lot of people not knowing how to move through their life decisions and all that, because they are busy thinking about how they want to compete with this person, or how they want to accomplish a certain thing because it is what has been said, rather than having a strong why. And these are the things I've spoken about a lot of times in my books, and I will continue to speak about it. It's the same thing. Because of this mass copying method or mass copying mechanism, people carry all those things like, they say we should wake up by 5. Okay, we'll wake up by 5, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about any disciplinary setting. I'm talking about when you want to get things done in accordance with God's plan for your life and all that. So because people copy that, so they carry it to the works of life. I say things like, they say we should get married at 25. Oh yeah, let's get married at 25. So a person starts feeling the pressure. By the way, I want to debunk one thing. I see a lot of people say things like, society pressure. No, nobody can pressure you into nothing. You allow pressure to get to you, because you know what, the world is going to do what they are going to do. You have to build up a storm within you to be able to bounce back whatever toxic nonsense the world is bringing your way. So I hear people say things like, which nonsense pressure? Let's talk about it. If you sit down with me in a counseling session, I will give you options on how to live your life outside of what you think is pressuring you. Now, there's nothing. Call the case. Call the case. Your mother is throwing hot water on your body. Your father is. Call me all the case, and we will sitting down with me in a counseling session. I'll give you options that work for you. Let's not always be making excuses. Let's make a way, because the truth of the matter is, you are not the first. You won't even be the last, or you might not be the last, because the world is changing. But a lot of times we like to sit down and feel like, no. If you see what happened, what? If you want to find a way to get out of it, let's talk. If you want to be mesmerized by what it is that you're going through, all well and good for you. That is up to you. That's totally your call. So I want to let you know that this whole pressure thing, you have to continue to, whatever I use the word, walk up a storm. That means finding your identity, building grit, building the word of God on the inside of you. These are the things that are supposed to keep people busy. But I don't really understand how people feel like they have a lot of free time on their hands and they are busy continually being pressured or falling under the pressure that the society throws their way. In today's episode, I really want to just bring your attention to the fact that marriage is a beautiful thing. That is really what I want to do with this episode, and I trust I'm already doing that. Marriage is a beautiful thing. However, if you do not get into marriage for the right reasons, you are going to cause us more problems than give you a solution. Your marriage is supposed to bring solutions to the world. It's not supposed to cause us problems. I started out this message with the fact that there are people who are world leaders that are causing us problems. If you go back to their parenting, you will see that there's a crack there. Who are parents? I was saying the other day on the radio, parents are not just people that pop up from the sky and are called parents. They are men and women with individual ideologies and mindsets, whether wrong or right, that come together to decide, because whether it's a mistake or whatever, it was a decision to decide to sow a seed in the form of a child and then birth that seed. Whether they're now parenting well or they're not parenting well is a different conversation. So you cannot have a parent outside of the ideology and mindset of the reality that a man or a woman thinks in their mind. So my question to you is, especially if you want to start out a family and you see your own marriage and desire, because you most likely will be listening to this particular message because you desire to get married. How are you working on your mindset of the things and the seed you want to sow and you want to multiply in the world for good? How are you working on it? Because your marriage shouldn't be something that makes you happy. A popular pastor in Nigeria will say, marriage doesn't make you happy, it makes you better. So, then again, we have the movies showing us marriage makes you happy. Of course, that's not the case. You can be happy, but that's not the goal of marriage. And that's why many people go in and come out because they are tired. So back to what I was saying, what are you doing currently to your mindset? Your current mindset, if you want to start a family apart from marriage, is it one that is prepared to parent a child? Or is it one that is still selfish? If you are still selfish, you are still into you, it's all about you, what the world thinks about you are not yet ready. So for me, at the end of the day, I would summarize it as this, just like the writer in the book of Ecclesiastes: fear God, obey his commandments. That's the summary of life if you look at it. At the end of the day, I would summarize it. We can talk about different principles at different times through different messages. But what I want to say is, at the end of the day, your marriage is destined to work depending on the decisions that you are willing to take every day towards making that marriage work. Decisions of what you allowed your mind to be fed with, your Bible, books, messages like this. What are you allowing your mind to be fed? It's one thing for your mind to be fed, it's another thing for you to move that thought into action. When your emotion is showing you red, are you going to turn it to green, or are you going to go because your emotion says you're red? I shared a lesson yesterday on my page at the time of this recording that do not make permanent decisions with a temporary emotion. Do not make permanent decisions with temporary emotions. So, if two people that love God and obey his commandments come together, we are going to have marriages that work. The problem is there are many people that claim to love God, but they don't love God. I like the way a person put it. I cannot remember the name of the person who quote, but this is not a quote of mine. This is from a person. You can Google it to find the name of the person if you will. The person said, the world would be a better place if Christians were just Christians, or if Christians just acted like Christians.